Hey, what's happening, guys? Dan Dario here with another Options and Play video update. Another busy start to the week after a busy last week, after a busy week before that. Earnings or scheduled earnings slow down a bit, but we're certainly not lacking for action. Things are still moving around. Stocks, averages, take your pick. I expect more good action this week, and while I do love when stocks fly around, I do hate when stocks fly around and without me or us in them, right? Especially when it's like an idea we had. Um, you know, the way options to play work is write up the trade idea night before. Based off the way it looks that session, the option prices are based off the way where the options close that session too, and then look to enter the following day, right? And sometimes things open flat, options open flat. Perfect scenario, you can get in exactly where it closed the day before, but a lot of times it just doesn't work out that way, right? And especially right now when we're seeing quite a bit of like overnight gaps, it can make things kind of challenging because you have like a real clean or real clear setup one day, right? And then by the following morning, um, either like the trade completely changed, either like the thesis was negated or the thesis played out, right? And sometimes, and I don't like doing it, but sometimes you just need to like abandon or walk away from that trade idea. I mean, you can't get married to that idea if the thesis has changed on you, right? So, Apple was looking at this last week when the Qs. It was the session. It was the Thursday, the Wednesday and the Thursday when the Qs were struggling right around their 52-week high, right? Apple, very similar. It come all the way back and it had stalled out underneath its resistance from January and February, right? And what I was looking at is if Apple started to lose 8 EMA trend support, that it could start to roll into like the teens, and then potentially there was a pretty significant gap, right? Down into like the 307, so like basically below 310, right? So I was thinking like a bearish put fly would make kind of sense if it had a little bit of a double top because you could see a pretty quick move to the downside, right? Well, the problem is that on Friday it gapped green, busted through the high like literally off the open and just started to like grind higher, right? So basically, like the reason for that bearish trade was completely negated, right? So I'm not gonna just go ahead with it even when the thesis has changed, right? So I mean, unfortunately, the way the trade was drawn up, it was busted by the following open, so the trade wasn't initiated, and the stock is moving higher, right? So it doesn't mean I'm just going to flip and go long, but I'm definitely not going to be like forcing bearish trades into like a bullish breakout, right? And now Oxy was this morning. So Oxy Friday, it wasn't on my radar going into Friday, but it was on my radar after Friday, right? So you had like a real strong move higher in energy stocks, and Oxy had this real great pop and then continuation, and it busted through a couple month resistance, closed strong, and was into like this major gap, right? Now, I knew that the stock was up a lot, so basically what I was thinking was that there could be some like real quick momentum to the upside to hit the 100-day, right? So I was looking for like kind of like a faster trade into the 100-day, which was like the target for the swing. So when the stock closed strong, I was hoping for a reasonable open where you could get involved and get, kind of a position looking for moving to the 100-day. Unfortunately, Oxy opened up like over 20% this morning, and it hit the target of the trade in the pre-market. So, or actually, it was above the target of the trade in the pre-market. So, the bullish trade really had no opportunity to be open because like the whole thesis, right? So like the bullish momentum into the 100-day had already played out before it was initiated. So just had to like walk away from it, right? And I don't like doing it. It's frustrating when you kind of like you have like an idea, or you have like a really good idea, and it plays out ahead of time, and you can't participate. It's part of the nature of this business. Sometimes things just go without you, and you have to be willing to like just walk away from it. You don't want to chase. You don't want to force trades if the thesis has changed. There'll be plenty of other opportunities. I mean, like these were two recent ones, but there's been plenty of other ones too that have kind of played out that way for me as well. So, man, I do love when things fly around, but obviously there's downsides to that, and sometimes it means you miss the trade before you can even get involved, right? Um, but like I said, stocks are moving, averages are moving, plenty of opportunities. So, I mean, there should be lots going on and a lot of trade ideas coming up. All right. So if you like these videos and you're looking for more option swing ideas, more earnings, trade ideas with options, please follow up with the link in the description of the video for more information on options in play. Have a safe night, stay well, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.